Steve, as you and I well know, we are a service economy. Our economy is driven by service. We're 80+% of our GDP, 80+% of our job creation is services. So when you're a service economy, the way to stimulate your economy, the way to grow your economy is to allow consumers to buy goods as cheaply as they possibly can and use the rest of their money to buy services or, if they're lucky enough, to save. Anything that raises the price of a good doesn't make sense for our economy. Even if they're paying it to the government as a tariff, it's just another tax.
The Federal Reserve and global central banks have provided massive liquidity to the markets over the last couple of years. Should the markets right now be concerned about an absence of liquidity as there is that withdrawal? Because investors have been comfortable over the last couple of years on any market correction. The Federal Reserve is going to be there. The liquidity is going to be there. It seems as though this time around it's different and we might be dealing with a liquidity crisis. Do you agree with that?
I understand where you're coming from. I don't really agree with it. You know, the Fed is in a long-term wind down of their balance sheet. They've very clearly stated how they're going to wind down their balance sheet. There's an enormous amount of liquidity still in the system. We've seen billions upon billions and hundreds of billions of dollars repatriated back into the U.S. system. We're seeing an enormous amount of buying in the long end of the yield curve because pension funds are now getting funded by some of this repatriation. There still is liquidity in the system. I'm not worried that the system doesn't have enough liquidity in it. In fact, I'm almost still worried about the other side. It seems like there's too many dollars chasing few deals. And when you look at some of the asset classes like real estate, where cap rates are still very low, and other areas, you've got a lot of dollars competing for the same assets.